All right, we've got Nathan Haffey today here. How
Hi
you
there.
doing?
Good. How are you guys doing
Not
today?
too bad. How'd you do this weekend at the MCS?
I did not as good as I had hoped, but I think I did pretty well, considering I'm playing a bad deck.
Ah, who'd you play?
I played Reese, my punch weapon man.
Ah,
Now, it's got this nice little hoodie right here. Love it. All right.
let's get down to your deck.
All right. First, let me explain Reese, because he's kind of a peculiar character with symbols I disagree with, but his first enhance is commit 1 foundation, and then your punch attack gets +1 damage and +1 speed for every attack card in your card pool that is face up. So it discounts any multiples. However, if after you play a weapon, you can commit him to draw a card, and if he deals damage, you draw again. However, it is important to note that Reese's top enhance does allow you to use it while it is committed, so you don't oust yourself from pumping your attacks if you do choose to draw. So let's first move to the attacks, and let's start with one of 2 cards that just work perfectly with Reese. First one is Slash Claw. First enhance is add the top card of your deck to your momentum, and you seal the attack. Now, it also has multiple 1, which you don't really use, but the big thing here is it's both a punch and a weapon, so you can trigger both enhances if need be. Next card we have that is just like that is our good old friend Iron Knuckle. It's another punch weapon that gives itself +1/+1 for every character card in your staging area, or in this deck, +1/+1 because you only play 1. However, it also seals the opponent's block, so things like Templar and that other one that is Jealousy and Fate. There we go, the one that Phil Birch was drooling over this MCS. They don't get to do jack. On to the number 1 quintessential Reese card, the Valiant Assault. It is a punch combo punch that allows you to draw 2 cards for the combo enhance, or if it deals damage, you can look at the top card of your deck and place it on the bottom for the second enhance. It's also a high block, which helps a lot in this current MCS format, because a lot of the big cards, such as Breath of the Jade Dragon or Flying Yamato Spear, are a high attack. Next, we have some good old Iron Knuckle support, the Panzerbrecher. While it is not a punch weapon, it is a punch with powerful 3, which means if you've been blowing up your momentum the entire game, you will be able to send it all away with this last low attack if you manage to pump with Reese as well for a massive hit.
Nice.
Got a few games with it because low blocks are less common, but in the end, I probably should have had more of these. The Rolling Uppercut, which is a punch with powerful 2, whose air enhance says, hey, guess what, I'm powerful 3. You can discard 1 momentum from your character's momentum, I suppose, to then, if it deals damage, put 2 cards on the top of your deck. Once again, you're seeing more low attacks because this deck managed to run quite a few of them to kind of offset everyone's high blocks. I was supposed to have more, but a good old buddy of mine whom I traded forgot to bring them, which is part of the it didn't run as well as it was supposed to. However, we also have, as our last attack, 3 Toy Touch. Now, you might be thinking, that's a lot of Felicia. We're getting to more of it soon, don't worry. It's also a punch with a +1 high block, which works well. It is a low attack, which again, works really well, and it works great in tandem with the first action we'll be looking at, Bounce and Roll. Its enhance says, add 1 foundation to your hand, which includes face down, so you can pick up that bounce and roll to use again. And if you have 2 more momentum, which if you're not using it for multiples or powerfuls, it gets +2/+2. Add in Reese's ability, as it is 2 difficulty. If you've already played, say, 2 more, that's gonna swing at a nice 7 low for 7 on an easy 4 check. So let's take a look at actions. First, we have the best card in the game, Bounce and Roll. It's +1 low block.
So why do you play that card?
I play this card because as I gather a lot of momentum over time, I can use it to make that last check on that punch I need, or if I have a Toy Touch in my hand, I can use this enhance to pick up a face down foundation, or face up foundation, turn it face down, and put it into my staging area. In doing so, I give myself a fresh and ready foundation to then commit with Reese to get that bonus to my punch that I'm currently playing. And if it's a Toy Touch, I can then continue to pick it right back up, and that other card I picked up is now a good block, or I have the Bounce Roll in my hand to use as a block. Next we have the other quintessential Reese foundation, the Templars. After you block with them, it's +1, or you draw 2 cards and gain 2 vitality, or you can use it to remove a punch card from your card pool after it deals damage by committing 1 foundation.
Cool.
Next on to the assets, we have 2 of the most ridiculous cards in the game, Jurassic Jungle.
Hey.
It's ridiculous because apparently it allows you to remove the half damage of throws, which I personally have an impossible time trying to deal with. It also does stop a couple other things by allowing you to commit after an opponent plays a form on an ability or an asset, which here only really does Dream of Fate. Now we have the Sweet Baby Challenge, the card that was supposed to be a 3 of, but I didn't know it wasn't until it was too late. It is a Breaker 1, +2 mid-block, which is great, and if it's destroyed, you get to throw it in momentum, and its ability allows you to blow it up, to then add a foundation or an asset from that you just checked back to your hand, and it goes momentum from there. And now, as we had mentioned, Felicia support, prepare yourselves. We have 4 Agile, which say commit a foundation and bring it down after it's played, or used as a block. We have 4 Bridging the Races, which says commit me for +1/+1, or ready me if you brought another foundation down, or removed one, which again works really well in tandem with Reese and all the cards that I use to kind of screw around with my staging area.
As well as bounce roll.
Oh yeah, bounce roll's the greatest thing in the world. We have 2 Strength of Tail for that off chance of not getting a Sweet Baby Challenge. We can still get that first turn momentum. 4 Gymnastic Techniques, which says if we have momentum when it's played, we can bring it straight down. Or Ever Hopeful, which says to remove a momentum as a response to playing it in the card pool, and you get to bring it down. Ever Hopeful adds itself back to hand and popping an opponent's foundation, and then which you can play it again as your next card, or Gymnastic Techniques allows you to commit it, and if the attack that you're currently doing deals damage, you give +2 to your next check, which helps, again, with using things such as another attack, or if you need to bounce roll, make your check, I don't know, +12. From there, we do have a couple more foundations, and by a couple I do mean a lot. Let's start with Push the Limit. It is a spam that flips an opponent's foundation and has a +3 low block. What's not to love?
Great.
We have Iron Will, as I don't really have a lot of ways to pump speed, as a spam that has a +3 mid block and allows me to pump a little extra speed as a little icing if I need it, did work quite well. Although I don't play any order attacks in the main deck, we do have Artifice Avarice, which if I check it, allows me to draw 1 card. I had to rely on it for 1 win throughout the tournament because I wasn't drawing enough attacks, and I managed to get 1 with it. Next we have the best card in the game, Sans Bounce and Roll, which is Journey West. You flip it, and if you do not block your opponent's attack, they get +2 on their next difficulty for their next attack. If they build from that point, you kind of wasted it, but if they're trying to go that Hydra Fork route, they're only making their life hard. And last but not least, we have Ophitophobia. As I mentioned, I have a terrible time dealing with throws, so this card is a saving grace at the cost of a flip.
Very neat. So, you placed 5th, right?
I did in fact place 5th.
Awesome. Anything you'd change about the deck? Obvious, then adding a couple cards that you didn't get a hold of? Or?
I definitely would probably go Panzerbreaker, because it's good. I might remove Toy Touch if I decide it's no longer being useful. And in the side deck, I had Stinging Uppers. My side deck was a total farce. It was terrible, but it had Felicia in it, which caused me to win 1 game against a good old Throw Gabrek. Not sure how a 7-hander with 19 Vitality did it, but rushing works. But other than that, the deck seemed to work okay. It just needed a couple more photophobias and a gaping lack of Speed Hate, as I changed it the day before and didn't realize that I hadn't put Speed Hate back in there.
Awesome. What do you think of the MCS format?
It's a good format. It's kind of nice that we don't have to do a lot of the KOF stuff, which is hard to get, specifically for me, because I came in after the fact, and the man that I purchased his collection from didn't have a lot of KOF, and as my favorite symbol is air, I don't have any champion of Muay Thai, which does make it hard to deal with people who pump a crap load of speed, or just like to throw spears.
Very cool. Well, thanks for taking the time out to show us your deck.
Thank you very much, and I hope you all have a good night.
Thanks.